Good morning, Ambassador of France in Belgium, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to apologize on behalf of Bernard Clerfayt, Minister of the Government of the Brussels Capital Region, responsible for employment and vocational training and digital transition. Unfortunately, for personal reasons, Mr. Clerfayt has not been able to join us today, but he has entrusted me with saying those a few words. First of all, we are very happy to welcome you here at the Pôle Emploi Digital Training Center of the Brussels region. I would like to thank the French Presidency of the EU for organizing, along with the Belgian Digital Training Center, this European AI Week, which started on Monday with a very rich program beyond innovation, beyond technological concept. AI is a field that comprises of many employment opportunities, hence the need to strengthen artificial intelligence. The IT Brussels Center and the Fari Center of the University of Brussels and the VUB are collaborating to increase and improve the AI sector of the employment opportunities. And we are working on identifying articles on animal sales on the internet. We are also building an AI strategy for the Brussels region. These are a few projects that the minister is working on in cooperation with the universities. Tapping into big data will require technical skills for new technical trades and other trades that will need to understand the challenges that relate to artificial intelligence and its jargon. We have not picked this center by chance, which embodies the public-private partnership. Its assignment is to identify the needs of the numerous stakeholders, to suggest trainings to job seekers and employers, and to support them throughout their professional pathway. The minister rejoices at the idea that such issues are given high priority throughout the week. We are following up on the findings of the training week on the future of jobs and on the role of these job opportunities towards young people. The minister wishes to all of you a nice day of exchanges, inspiration, and networking around all the opportunities that artificial intelligence carries in Belgium, France, and beyond. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Councillor of the Minister of the Government of the Brussels Capital Region in charge of employment, vocational training, digital transition, local authorities and animal welfare, thank you for pronouncing these welcoming words. Dear Nathaniel Ackerman. Nathaniel Ackerman is the bridge on all these topics. Digital city representatives, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for attending this colloquium, AI Generation 2030. This project is led by the French Embassy as well as the Belgian strategic support facilities. I would like to thank the Brussels region, its minister and councillor for supporting us in preparing and designing this event. I also would like to thank Digital City for hosting us in their premises and in this very peculiar unit that is the demonstration of the authorities' mobilization and demonstrate to which extent all the stakeholders are working towards innovation in our AI sector. I also would like to thank all the talents and the brains who've contributed to organizing this event. Thank you very much, Mr. Ackerman. I also would like to thank the Belgian director of AI4Belgium. Thank you very much for bringing us your expertise and the added value to the sector. We had noted it during the Homo Numericus colloquium that you also organized a few months ago. I'd like to welcome all our guests from Belgium and abroad, from the Czech Republic, from Luxembourg, from Germany, and beyond. I think that this colloquium is highly interesting in terms of cross-border and European cooperation. Now, for a few weeks now, we are experiencing an unprecedented international tension some 2,000 kilometers away from here. There is no way we can avoid talking about the tragic events that Ukraine is living and the tragic events that refugees are experiencing. I won't dwell on the details of this tragic conflict, which is causing many fatalities. I think that this is the opportunity for us to get even closer to one another. Efforts among Europeans are crucial. We have looked at the first response that Europe has given to the crisis. As Europeans, I think that we must pursue the efforts to strengthen our cooperation, a cooperation which is necessary among countries, among companies. This tragedy compels us to continue this cooperation. But let's come back to the core of this conference, which is a follow-up to the module Homo Numericus that dwelled on bilateral cooperation in the digital field, and it triggered discussions on scientific exchanges, and I think that these scientific exchanges can lead to constructive inspiration, constructive invention and creation. France and Belgium have been working together for centuries now. A bilateral cooperation between universities date back to some 2 centuries ago, and it goes the same for companies. And I think that our will is to pursue this joint collaboration. Hence this colloquium on the strategic field that artificial intelligence embodies in the framework of the European AI Week, at a time where France is holding the European Council presidency. And I think that today we are gathered with those of you who are preparing the future. Now, the core challenge of this colloquium is to promote new partnerships, innovative partnerships, and to give a new impetus to the new generation of research and innovation in the field of artificial intelligence in view of 2030. And I'd like to thank those of you who are at the basis of this 2030 strategy. Now, as far as I am concerned, I do see many positive consequences of AI in the healthcare sector, and the healthcare structure will, in a way, structure our talks and our debates today. Now, trying to be very careful, I think that we can dare say that we are walking out of the worst case scenario of the pandemic, and we are gradually going back to some kind of normality, as our event today shows it. Groups of labs, research centers, academics are striving to advance in the healthcare sector. And I think that the end of the pandemic is both a hope for the future and an opportunity. Now, AI has many applications that I won't have time to go through. Fighting against fraud, reducing energy emissions are some of the opportunities that AI offers, and these fields are taking up a new dimension. Optimal solutions for companies and private citizens are some other examples that I could also mention under your scrutiny, and I am sure that we will have the opportunity to dive into these topics. AI opens up numerous opportunities, promising opportunities as well, promising for our mind as well, because it forces us to go beyond the traditional mindset, to change and reshuffle the way we work. That's why the French government it wants to give new impetus to the field with a new investment and a new multi-annual strategy. Renaud Vedel is in charge of coordinating the national strategy on AI. And I also would like to welcome the members of the Prairie network, gathering many Paris-based universities. Our country is a pioneer in these efforts because we have understood the importance and the relevance of the sector. Regional and national subsidies granted to AI have moved from 1 billion euros to, well, have shifted from 160 million euros to an amount that exceeds 1 billion euros. We do understand the urgency of the and the priority that this sector has. We have helped young people finding employment opportunities in the field. We've also supported unicorns and a system of an ecosystem of startup. And I'd like to congratulate Belgium, Belgian researchers, Belgian scientists who have demonstrated their talents, their intellectual capital, talent. I have been here for a few months now, and I have been the testimony of the inventivity of these researchers. I hope that throughout the day you will be able to learn more about the different projects that are carried out in our countries, but also elsewhere in Europe. I hope you will be able to find support to pursue these projects, and I think that we will be able to continue working hand in hand as the end of the pandemic seems quite doesn't seem too far. Now, our embassy is also there to try and stimulate the exchanges. I'd like to thank our partners. I'd like to thank the Brussels region for granting us their support, and we have decided to offer short stay grants in the field of AI so that Belgian and French researchers can embark on new joint research projects. Of course, they will be able to tap into an existing program, which is called Programme Hubert Curien. And this project will host projects in the field of innovation and AI. Ladies and gentlemen, as you have understood, we have high ambitions that we are very happy to share with our Belgian colleagues and friends. We also have high expectations because we do acknowledge the numerous challenges that await us. We are supposed to build the framework into which new generations will prosper and thrive. This is a daunting but at the same time ambitious joint project. With these few words, I'd like to end my presentation. I wish you the best throughout the colloquium. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to congratulate the French embassy in Belgium and their partners for organizing this event about AI. You could say AI today has already claimed a very important place in the economy and in society in Europe, and it helps us fight COVID, it improves the efficacy of transportation, it detects heart failure, it can be deployed in so many areas and fields. In fact, regarding AI, as well as regarding a lot of other technologies, it is necessary, absolutely necessary for the EU to be more autonomous. The situation in the Ukraine, the frontal attack against peace and European stability, reminds us in a very cruel way how necessary it is for us to be more sovereign from a technological perspective if we want for Europe to keep its place in the world. In order to be a full stakeholder in the area of AI, Europe needs to be strong. Europe needs to be strong throughout the field of AI regarding semiconductors, data, as well as apps. First of all, let's start with semiconductors. Europe has a very good product. We are already the global leaders in terms of research. Without Europe, without our research centers that are front and center in the field, there would be no possible technological advances in the field of semiconductors. But Europe cannot focus solely on research and design. We must also be preoccupied with manufacturing, and we must also we cannot leave production to only Asian or US stakeholders. A strategic autonomy without a production capacity near research centers, and especially in terms of semiconductors, would not work, which is why last month we worked on the Chip Act, which is all about our ambition to convey or to have within the next 10 years on the production of 10 to 20% of the global production of chips on the European continent, especially for the most advanced chips that have to be engraved below 2 nanometers. The other thing is data. Data, of course, is essential to artificial intelligence. The European Commission has just presented a draft law called Data Act, which is going to be able to unlock data use in Europe to the benefit of companies and consumers, to the benefit of public services and of society as a whole. This will be the basis of a strong, innovative and sovereign digital economy in Europe. How about applications? In order for us to be successful, we need an excellent ecosystem that we can trust, an environment where the respect of fundamental rights, transparency, human control and safety are at the heart of our goals. You know the draft law about AI that is currently being debated at the Council and the European Parliament. It is based on a risk-based approach. We have proportionate rules that are offered to answer the potential threats posed by AI systems. This regulatory framework will be crucial to inspire trust in all of our applications regarding or related to AI, using AI, both citizen-facing and company-facing. I encourage lawmakers to make progress in adopting this text in order to have a clear and stable framework for our companies to work. I would like to conclude by saying that the semiconductor industry, with a reasoned use of data, with an excellent and trustworthy ecosystem, all of that will make it possible for the 2030 generation of AI will be one of the flagships of European economy. At the heart of Generation 2030 are us all, startups, scale-ups, researchers, competitivity, areas, companies, everybody that contributes in this ecosystem. It is together with you that we will be able to take up the challenges of our digital generation, the digital decade. So, in just a few words, this is what I wanted to tell you today about this very important theme, and I would like to thank you all for everything you do and to wish you a very fruitful debate.